The construction industry is a major contributor to UK and global carbon emissions. Embodied carbon. What is embodied carbon? Embodied carbon is all of the CO2 emissions coming from the manufacture, the transport, the installation, the maintenance, and the disposal of the building material. You can find information on the embodied carbon in products and materials within environmental product declarations. These are reports based on the products or materials life cycle assessment. They include information across the product life cycle, from raw material extraction to disposal. Environmental product declarations should be available from all suppliers, and should be verified by an independent third party. Project considerations. Information for designers, architects and clients. The following steps will help you to take a whole life, embodied carbon reduction approach. These should be embedded within the procurement contract and reviewed throughout the project. Identify major contributors to embodied carbon and plan for improvement. Substructure and structure impacts can be reduced by reducing overspecification. Carry out life cycle assessments at the detailed design stage and have this independently verified. Simplify designs, use standardized components and consider natural finishes. Minimize mechanical, electrical and plumbing (MEP) networks, with focus on passive design solutions. Reduce material volume, optimize biogenic or bio-based materials. Where possible, consider reuse before recycled content. If not possible, increase recycled content, and source locally. Consider manufacturing process. Consider using materials passports to encourage reuse or recycling of components. Digital models should be verified to ensure they are complete and correct. Use fewer finishing materials, for example mass timber walls or exposed ceiling voids. And consider lower carbon alternatives to optimize operational, embodied and whole life carbon. Construction operatives actions. Information for site staff. Follow these key steps to minimize the carbon impact from the construction process and activities. Source local materials to reduce transport emissions. Request for low-carbon transport to deliver materials. Record all materials delivered and used on site, and report any material changes, as any change may impact on carbon emissions. Collate environmental product declarations where available for materials. Reuse and recycle material during renovation and demolition. Educate and support trade-specific procurement requirements for low or reduced carbon materials. Hold regular meetings to check on progress of meeting carbon targets. Record and share lessons learned to promote continuous improvement. Carry out skip audits to identify commonly wasted materials. Train site staff on the importance of proper material handling and storage. Responsible sourcing. Information for procurement. Responsible sourcing is a voluntary commitment to consider the social and environmental impacts of the supply chains and relationships with their partners. In the building sector, prioritizing responsible sourcing of materials provides benefits to the environment, supply chain and contractors. It is also rewarded in most green building certifications. We will now briefly cover the key principles of responsible sourcing. These are: social responsibility. Ensure ethical labor practices such as fair wages, safe working conditions, and human rights compliance. Engage with stakeholders and include local communities and workers in the decision-making process. Minimize the environmental impact through sustainable practices. Reducing the carbon footprint, waste generation, and finally, promoting resource efficiency.